Some talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs, who dropped an OT decision to the San Jose Sharks last night. Erik Karlsson gets the winner. We'll have a little bit more on him in just a second here. But for Toronto, it's not panic time. And I saw people yesterday on Twitter going, oh, is it time for Sheldon Keefe to be on the hot seat? And I'm not quite getting there because they're above 500. Let's be real. But Mike, they've lost 3 games this year to Montreal, Arizona, and San Jose. 3 organizations who are expected to be basement dwellers this year. And the Leafs, who are expected to be cup contenders, cannot find a way to beat them. Is that a concerning sign or just a coincidence that they're showing up flat for these games?
At this point, I think it's concerning because it's been 3 games against clubs that really aren't in the top half of the NHL. Now, do they work? Sure. Montreal's a dangerous team. I think that they're undercover sneaky. But you look at last night against the Sharks, who've been completely listless all season, and it's just a microcosm of what's been going on with Toronto. They just can't put games away against top teams. Now, have they lost 2 in a row? Sure. I don't think Keefe really hits hot seat territory unless the Leafs go into LA and Anaheim and lose those games. And then they go home to Philly and lose a game. Like if you lose 5 in a row and then you lose one at home against Philly, I think that's when it might change the discourse. But, this club right now in Toronto's having a hard time scoring. They're 27th in the
Yeah.
league in offense, power plays mid-pack. Like Matthews has 2 goals. And, you can say it's on the players, but there's some coaching aspect to that too. And they've gotten good defense and goaltending. That's been forgotten. Like Samsonov has a 932 save percentage and he's 4-1. The problem though, Tyler, the other goaltenders, Murray had 1 bad start and loss. Shalgren, 0-1-1. He's got an 857 save percentage. The goaltending, that's still on Kyle Dubas. And I don't think it's set because if you're dependent on Samsonov to play every game from here on out to have a chance to win, I don't like
Mm.
those odds.
So let me ask you this. Jake Muzzin goes on LTIR, and Mitch Marner had some really interesting comments about how, the key for Muzzin is, to get his day-to-day back to normal. Let's say you're in Kyle Dubas's seat and you have that
Mhm.
Muzzin LTIR money. Murray could be coming back at some point as well, but you have the Muzzin LTIR money. Are you prioritizing goaltending or defensive help for this team?
Well, I didn't like the goaltending going into the season at all to start the year.
Mhm.
And I think you're at a point now, especially with, Joseph Woll is another goaltender in the Leafs organization. Well, he's been hurt. And
Yeah.
Shalgren's been, I mean, kind of what you expect. Like he's been okay, a warm body. Like I do think there's a glaring hole. And I mean, even look at a team like Vegas. They got 3 NHL goalies right now. Brossoit isn't playing, but Brossoit is going to be back in the lineup in the next month or so. There's 3 guys there. You just wonder, like, with that little bit of available money, if you got 2-3 million extra dollars, that's about the right amount to get a serviceable goalie in the NHL. And I think that's going to matter for the Leafs. I think Dubas is going to have to think about it.
Plenty of big decisions to come. You mentioned Matthews only at 2 goals on the season. Do you still think he can get hot and get to 60 this year, or is that out of the question with the slow start?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, 8 games in, you have 2 goals. We were pretty excited about 60 goals last season. I still
Mhm.
expect him to be in the high 50s, but they're going to have to come in bunches now. He's shown he can do that, and the power play is going to have to be better as well.